Hey guys, how we doing? We've just got a very special video today. Joining us on Cricket Strength is a lad called Ben Sidwell. Ben, thanks very much for joining us.
That's absolutely fine.
I'll give you a little bit of a backstory to Ben. He joined our one-to-one program roughly a year ago, and he had quite a few issues. And what we're going to do is just talk to him about those issues and how we've overcome them, and a little bit of a backstory. So Ben, just talk a little bit about your sort of history with cricket and all things like that, how you got into it, and let's build up to when you first got involved with us.
So I mean, I played cricket at my local club when I was about 5 or 6, sort of family connections, and then I kind of just went through there. Started at school at 7, and every summer played cricket from there. And sort of as things developed, sort of played in age group things, which was really good fun. And it was always quite relaxed, sort of club stuff, school stuff, and whatever. As I said, age group stuff. And yeah, it went from there really, from about five years old to 15, 16, and then obviously through school, sixth form stuff, and then uni. I just played cricket all my life basically.
And you were playing for an actual county age groups as well.
Yeah. So from under nines to around under 15s, under 16s. Yeah, I played for an age group stuff, which was great. Really good fun. Good sort of experience. Yeah.
So you must be fairly decent bowler then.
Yeah. No, all right. I'm not too bad. Not too bad.
Good stuff. So obviously then you've hit a period of injuries. So just give us a little bit of a backstory with the injuries that you've had.
So, well, I mean, bowling's kind of done quite a few things to my body. But when I was sort of 12, 13, I had very quite bad knees. I had patellar tendonitis, so I really struggled bowling, obviously, through that. But then, as you said, the worst injury was the stress fracture that I had in my back. That started in year 11, which was around 3.5 years ago, 3 years ago. So I just felt pain right at the beginning of the season, in lower six, right at the beginning of the summer as well, which was a pain. And I bowled three. I remember it quite clearly because I bowled 3 overs, got hit for I think 12 runs because my back was spasming all over the place, and that's kind of when I realised something was probably wrong. So I didn't stop bowling. I went to physio, and they basically spent 3, 4 months not 3, 4 months, about 2 months, let's say, trying to diagnose an issue, sort of giving me lots of exercises to do. And it was only about, I said, 3, 4 months later that they actually gave me a scan and realised that I had a stress fracture.
Or really, so it took them that long to actually get you scanned.
Yeah, well, the physio I saw didn't really. He didn't know. He didn't understand cricket. He'd never played it. Didn't really watch it, which I'm obviously absolutely fine. But when you're dealing with a cricket, well, a very specific injury for bowlers, it's a bit of a pain because he kept saying, "I really don't think it's a stress fracture. I don't sort of, I can't quite see how it is." And then, lo and behold, 4 months later, they scan and I go into the surgeons and they tell me it's a stress fracture. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay, so then talk about that period when you first got diagnosed, and then up until you came to us. How many physios did you see? How many rehab programs have you been through?
So I saw 3 physios. I carried on with that first one after a while, but he told me to rest and then he told me to plank. That was it.
Okay,
Um,
less than blanket.
so yeah. So the surgeon was good. He then sort of tried to offer as many physios. We went to another physio who he was better, but again didn't really know anything about cricket, I don't think. Which is where getting back into the bowling was a struggle. So that didn't work. And then when I got to uni,
You
I
tried to
was
bowl,
fun.
you tried to bowl again after the first and second physio.
So after the first one, I didn't. I was in pain, sort of not everyday movements, but I could feel it. Certain occasions, I knew I couldn't. It wasn't working. So that's when we moved on to the second one. The second one felt good until I'm still sort of. I started bowling at sort of anywhere above 90%, really, 80, 90%. It felt good, sort of just gentle run-ins and run-throughs. But then the moment I tried to bowl quicker and actually put a bit of effort and sort of strain through my body, I felt it go. Not immediately, but I felt a gradual sort of pain throbbing building up, which is when again I stopped for that year.
Yeah.
And then, as I said, went to uni, got given straight to a university physio, and that was just 4 months wasted, really, in the nicest way.
So what are sort of exercises they had you doing?
So, as I said, the first physio was literally just rest, and then, God, it was quite a long time ago. It was just your basic core exercises. I think you could type in Google and sort of work out. It was all about, I don't really know what it was about. It didn't work. It was just planks, sort of mountain climbers, anything that you could find off the internet. Second guy was, I think he was better. He focused more on sort of activating the core, sort of hip flexor stretches first, sort of actually making sure that your body uses your core rather than just going straight into, as the other guy did, planks. And then that was the issue. It was then planks and your basic core exercises. And third guy, I don't know. He just gave me just, again, really basic exercises. They were slightly different, but they weren't massively strength sort of orientated. And I can't even really tell you what he gave me, to be honest. So that was it.
So then you still in pain, not able to bowl.
Yeah.
How were you feeling around this time?
Well, by the third physio, I hadn't given up yet, but it was just frustrating because the worst part about it was that I felt fine, really. There was nothing that really caused me issue until I bowled. And so I'd go to these physios and then do exactly what they say for 4, 5, 6 months, but not feel really any pain because I was, building basic core strength up. But then the moment I bowled, it would hurt. And it's just really frustrating knowing that
Yeah.
6 months was completely wasted. And when you do that 3 times and it sort of equates to 3 seasons, it's quite demoralizing. And yeah, it did get to the point, as we'll get on to how we came across you guys, where we typed in cricket physio stress fracture into Google, and then you guys came up, which was quite a stroke of luck. Because
Yeah.
I was sort of, particularly the third season, I couldn't do any university. I just went to club and just batted, and I enjoy batting, but I'm a bowler, and
Yeah.
got to the point where I did kind of have to kind of not quite make terms with not having to bowl again, but it was in the back of my mind, sort of questioning if 3 years hasn't worked, then am I actually ever going to bowl again?
Yeah. So then, obviously, remember your dad first emailed us asking us if there was anything we could do with it, and it's our big thing, really. We want to try and help as many people as possible who've been in pain and they can't really see a way out of it. And so then we got in contact and talk us through your sort of experience through working with us.
Well, I mean, my dad asked me about what it was like, and I think the best way that I could describe it is that the sort of exercises that I was being given, I can't even describe them. They were so sort of specific and unique, particularly all the FMS stuff. And it just, from sort of 2, 3 weeks into it, I could always feel whenever I was doing the exercises, it felt different. Things sort of felt much, much stronger, much more stable. And so, yeah, as I said, I started with Gavin with all those exercises. Did that for about 4 months, I think, sort of January to sort of April, May time, maybe a bit longer. And that was sort of basic stuff using the functional movement system, I think, or something that's called. And that was really good. And then passed on to yourself, and it was more about sort of a bit more active, bit more sort of more mobilizing and keeping it strong though whilst it's moving. And yeah, it was different, and I think that was the best sign. None of the exercises I had done before, I'd never heard of them, which I know doesn't necessarily mean they're good, but when you come to a cricket specific person, you can just tell that sort of the knowledge about bowling and the action and the mechanics of it is just so much better than your generic sort of physio. But it was really good, very rewarding, and it was nice knowing that sort of 8, 9 months of hard work actually led you somewhere rather than having to start at square one again.
Yeah, and then when we got you back into bowling, didn't we? Because you came down to see me in
Yeah.
Worcester, a little one-to-one there, and then we got you back into bowling. What did it feel like when you actually could bowl again, pain-free?
Well, I was quite nervous, really, because I was always in the back of my mind, sort of, please don't hurt, please don't hurt. So it was about 3 months of bowling where I finally started to relax a bit and actually trust my back again. Because I'd had it before, as I said, with the second physio where I'd bowled for a while, but then it started to hurt. But just being able to bowl, even just in the nets, it was quite nice being able to run in at like 70, 80% and just bowl pain free. And also, as I said, trusting my back was quite nice because it's quite hard to run in at 100%, sort of with that niggle in the back of your mind, thinking, is this going to play up? Is it going to play up? Um, and it was just, I mean, the back to bowling stuff as well. I think it's helped a lot with my bowling, however long it was. I think it was 12 weeks, 3 months of it, and it really helped. All the med ball stuff and heavy ball, light ball stuff was really quite helpful. So it was really good when I came back to uni and actually sort of was able to bowl again.
That's awesome. And then you emailed again saying that you'd been on tour. So you went on tour, and then you played against some of the first class county games as well. So just tell us a bit about that to finish up.
Yeah, so we went on tour to South Africa, which was brilliant. And that was the first time that I bowled outside for 3 years. So it was it was really quite enjoyable. And it was just, I know I've said it, it was just really nice to be able to bowl and just enjoy playing cricket again. And South Africa was great. It was warm as well, which I think helps.
Yeah.
And then came back, and yeah, I was lucky enough to play the counties games against universities, and sort of, I mean, it was so much fun. I've never had that experience before, and missing out on it last year as well was really quite disappointing because you're following it on BBC Sport and you're seeing all your mates' names, which I know for professional cricket isn't that much, but for us it's quite cool seeing on BBC Sport. But it's just sort of my life is peaking quite early. I've realised, sort of playing these first class counties at these lovely grounds, and it's just I wouldn't have been able to do it without sort of good physio, and that's exactly what you guys have given. So it's been really good.
Mate, that's amazing. It's a great story, and we're really glad you're back. And you told me during the one of the games you got through 28 overs across the
Yeah,
two innings, and
yeah,
you're still feeling good. So fingers crossed, mate. Going forward, this isn't the peak, and you can keep going.
yeah,
Get some high.
yeah. Thank you very much as well to you, Gavin, as well. It's been brilliant.
Absolute pleasure, mate. That's what we're here for. We'll catch you
Thank you.
soon.
See ya.